requires us to still keep on serving Him. And when we're sick and persecuted, He still requires us to be faithful. That's what our calling is, brethren. That's whatever God brings in our way. He said, you can handle it. I will never leave you nor forsake you. There's nothing that comes your way except there's common to man. The afflictions, the persecution, the trials, the pain, the sufferings that come our way today, the same they've been for the whole world. God has not changed the way that men are tried. And millions have succeeded in enduring whatever this world brings and being faithful unto death. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible. With God's help, we can do it. God will give us the strength to endure whatever He sends our way. He will not permit us to be tempted above that which we're able to bear. But He will, with the temptation, provide a way of escape. A way of escape may be death. But He will provide a way that we can escape. And we have to be willing to do whatever it takes to be faithful to God. Sown among the thorns, this is the one who hears the word, but the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and it proves unfruitful. As for what was sown on good soil, this is the one who hears the word and understands it. He indeed bears fruit and yields. In one case 100-fold, another 60, and another 30. Everybody doesn't have the same ability. Everybody doesn't have the same talent. But God expects us with whatever we have to bear fruit according with what He has given us. You know, there's a judgment scene in Matthew chapter 25, verses 14 through 33. And then there's another one in Luke chapter 19, starting at about verse 16. And the Lord returns. And He calls His servants before Him. One man was given 5 talents. One man was given 2 talents. One was given 1 talent. And each of them in turn came before Him and they said, Lord, my 5 talent has gained 5 more. Here's your 5 back with interest. And the man with 2 talents said, Lord, your 2 talents have gained 2 talents more. And here's what you entrusted to me with interest. And the 1 talent man came and said, Lord, I knew you were a hard man, and I took this money and I hid it, and here's that which is your own. And Jesus said, out of your own mouth I will judge you, you wicked servant. He said, you knew I was hard, did you? He said that you should have given this money to the bank, and I would have had my own with interest. You see what was required of him? He had to do something with this. He had to do something. He didn't have to bring forth 100-fold. He didn't have to bring forth 30-fold or 60-fold. All he had to do, he had to give the Lord something. He had taken what the Lord had given him, and he had made some effort to grow this, to make it produce more. God expects us to bring forth fruit. I mean, if you have a fruit tree in your yard and it never produces anything, what are you liable to do with that tree? Cut it down, right? Why is that fruit tree taking up space when it's not doing anything? Cut it down. Get rid of it. We'll put something else there. God's the same way. He expects His plants, which He has planted, to do something. I mean, you do all that work, planting a field, and it sits out there and it never brings forth grain. Why would you do that? Why would you spend all that time and money trying to produce a crop if it failed to do anything? God expects the same thing from us. We are His field. We're the plants of His field. He expects us to produce fruit. One time Jesus came to he was walking down the road and he came to a fig tree. And he was hungry. Jesus knows what it's like to be hungry. He has experienced the same thing that we have. He knows that we need to eat. And he was hungry, and he came to this fig tree, and he looked at it, and there was not anything, it was just leaves. It was a pretty tree, but it didn't have anything on it. Christians are like that sometimes. They're pretty, oh yes, I love Jesus. But I'm not teaching anybody, I'm not growing, I'm not really close to God, and I enjoy the things of the world, and I come to church on Sunday and I might put a face on the plate, but I'm not really dedicated. You know, that's a tree with no leaves. You know what Jesus said to that tree? He said, let no one eat from you ever again. And the next time they walked past it, the tree was withered. It didn't have any, it was